Hey, it's Robert Fifth and live on the air in St. Louis, and these are my top 5 favorite Aretha Franklin albums. So whenever you try to narrow it down to your top favorite 5 of an artist who has so much music like Aretha Franklin, it's quite a task. But what a task it is, because you get to listen to all of these great albums again. Well, some of them again. Now, my favorites, all 5 right now, I'll tell you right now, are all from the Atlantic years. Like 1967 to about 1975 are where my favorites are. But if you're a big fan of Aretha Franklin, you've heard the hits of Respect and Think and Natural Woman and Chain of Fools and all those, and you want to dig a little deeper and hear her full albums all the way through, I would definitely suggest these 5. And coming in at number 5 is the Sparkle soundtrack. It was kind of a toss-up whether I wanted to do the Sparkle soundtrack for number 5 or Young, Gifted, and Black. I went with the Sparkle soundtrack because it is a great movie, and also it's Aretha Franklin teamed up with Curtis Mayfield. Now, how can you go wrong there? The only caveat I have with this album is it's a little bit short. It only has 8 songs on it. Now, the songs are long, but a lot of them are just like the repeating the chorus and whatever. So I wish there was a couple more songs on here. But again, Curtis Mayfield teamed up with Aretha Franklin for the Sparkle soundtrack. Definite gems on this album include Something He Can Feel. That's the huge song from Sparkle. Aretha obviously does an amazing job with that. She's got some fun songs on here like Jump and Rock With Me. And of course, the title song Sparkle sets the whole thing off. But it's really about hearing the album all the way through rather than picking out going, oh, this is a terrific song here or there. It's about the experience. It's one of those great records, too, that you just want to put down and listen to the whole thing. Curtis Mayfield and Aretha Franklin together for Sparkle at number 5. So let's move on to number 4, Aretha Now. Aretha Now is another one of those great Atlantic albums. I think this one's from 1968, and it has the song Think on it. That starts off the whole thing. That's the song she performed in the movie The Blues Brothers. This is the original version. A lot of people think this song is called Freedom because of the part where, freedom, yeah, but it's actually called Think, and it's a great song, and just one of the great songs on this album. Another is Seesaw. That's pretty fun, upbeat. She does some great covers on here. Sam Cooke's You Send Me is a part of this. So is You're a Sweet, Sweet Man. Nighttime is the Right Time. Great Ray Charles cover. All a part of Aretha Now. And it's kind of more of her classic Atlantic sound, more so than the Sparkle soundtrack. So that one comes in at number 4. And now, before we move on to number 3, I've got to talk about a little bit about the Aretha Franklins that are not on Atlantic. Now, these are great albums. These are great songs. A lot of great music to be found in her Atlantic years, like the Greatest Hits album here. If you're into cover art, though, you definitely want to get Aretha's Yeah album on Columbia. Great cover photo on that one. But there's a lot of great little songs mixed in here. There's also her doing things like Rockabye Your Baby with a Dixie melody on the Greatest Hits. Songs like that you kind of got to watch out for. They really weren't sure, I don't think, what they wanted to do with Aretha on Columbia, and it wasn't until she moved to Atlantic and started working with some different people that they really found that great sound and really used her voice the way it should be. But that's no reason to discard her early Columbia work. And a great compilation of that is called Queen in Waiting, where you just get a lot of the great songs. Also, after Atlantic, she moved to Arista for some great here and there songs. Great album called Who's Zoomin Who? You may remember it came out in 1985 that featured Freeway of Love and the title track and Another Night. And a duet with Peter Wolf from the Jay Giles Band called Push, I think. And that's a little strange. If you're a fan of the Jake House Band, you may actually not want to hear that song because it's definitely Peter Wolf, like you probably haven't heard him before. But yeah, that's a real fun, upbeat, kind of definitely 80s sounding album, Who's Zoomin Who. So there's plenty of great Aretha Franklin all over the place. It really just depends on what Aretha you want. If you want 80s kind of dance, drum machine music, Who's Zoomin Who album. If you want jazzy kind of very sophisticated instrumentals, like a jazzy type thing, you want an album called Soul 69. If you want disco Aretha Franklin, everybody had a disco album in those days. She's got one. It's called Almighty Fire. So there's all kinds of Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin live in concert, I would suggest Aretha in Paris over the Fillmore West album. So there's all kinds of great Aretha Franklin. It just depends on what Aretha do you want. But as far as my 5 favorite albums, let's move on to number 3. I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. It is Aretha Franklin's debut for Atlantic, and, well, it kicks off with Respect. There you go. How are you going to go wrong with that? Great album. Includes, of course, the title track. A beautiful song called Soul Serenade is almost worth the album by itself. Baby, Baby, Baby's on here. Dr. Feelgood starts off side 2. That is not a Motley Crue song, but it is a great Aretha Franklin song, though. Save Me's on here, and it closes with this excellent version of Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come. And she even acknowledges that he's an old friend, and this is good song from an old friend. I mean, it is incredible. This is a great album. This is Aretha's, like I said, debut for Atlantic, when she really started to come in to her own, and they found that sound that they needed to make her really shine. 1967, this was out, and it was really kind of a toss-up between this one and the album that comes in at number 2, Lady Soul. Lady Soul came out in 1968, and it includes Chain of Fools. It includes You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Ain't No Way is on here. People Get Ready, great remake on here of that. Nikki Hokie is a part of this. Also, Sweet Sweet Baby, Since You've Been Gone. There's just song after song. The whole thing is great. It's really great, obviously. It's my second favorite Aretha Franklin album of all time. I got the CD here, though, because you may want to check out this bonus track on here. I usually don't talk too much about bonus tracks and demos and things like that, but this has an unedited version of Chain of Fools. And what you'll find out when you hear that is that beginning part, there were actually vocals there and a whole setup to where the song actually, before the song actually begins. And it's really good. It sounds like when you listen to it, this is probably the way the song was actually meant to be listened to, but they probably just cut that part off to make it shorter so it would sound good on a 45 or be great on the radio or something like that. But yeah, definitely check that out. And obviously the entire album, Lady Soul from Aretha Franklin. Again, it's a toss-up, really. Either this is 2 or 3. You know, whichever one you prefer, you go ahead and listen to both of them. That would be my advice. And we move on to my absolute favorite Aretha Franklin album, Spirit in the Dark. It really, from my personal taste, does not get better than this album from Aretha Franklin. This is, you know how in the first album for Atlantic, she kind of, all she's asking is for a little respect. At this point, she is commanding respect. She is definitely the Queen of Soul, and this is a remarkable album. I know it's probably not on a lot of people's top 5, maybe not even top 10. It doesn't get any kind of accolades, or no one really ever talks about this album, but it's incredible. It starts off with the song Don't Play That Song, which was written by the head of Atlantic Records, but, you know, you'd think, how a record company head writing songs. Aretha does an incredible job with this song to kick this off, and goes right into The Thrill Is Gone, which is just amazing. She's got Honest I Do, the Jimmy Reed song in here, does a great job with that. Spirit in the Dark, the title track's great way to end side 1. There's so much energy and so much gospel-type emotion on here. It really is kind of a more mature, kind of more confident-sounding Aretha Franklin, and Why I Sing the Blues closes this thing off. What another great song. Try Maddie's is kind of upbeat and fun. When the Battle Is Over is kind of more of a rockin' Aretha Franklin. It's all a part of this incredible album for 12 songs. So this is a generous offering of music on this album as well. The way that it's produced, it sounds like more of like a 70s deep soul thing, which is one of my favorite types of music. So this is the Aretha Franklin album that, for my personal taste, I would suggest you pick up when you're ready to listen to full-length Aretha's all the way through, and you've kind of heard all the hits and everything, and you're ready for something a little bit deeper. Definitely Spirit in the Dark from 1970, my absolute favorite Aretha Franklin album. So now I want to know about you. What are your favorite Aretha Franklin albums? You can even pick the top 7 if you want to, and you can include all the era stuff. Maybe that last one she just came out with that was only at Walmart is your favorite. Whatever it is, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can get all the other great videos that I don't know if they're great or not, but all the other videos that I'll be putting up about great albums. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, please subscribe. You can even hit that little bell so you get notifications. It would really help out tremendously. And once again, thank you so much for watching, but I definitely want to hear your opinions in the comment section about your favorite Aretha Franklin albums, or just your favorite Aretha Franklin songs, or maybe other artists that you want me to disclose my top favorite albums for. Thanks again for watching.